Whispers rise long before the sun does in the world of the Ton. And this time, the whispers carry something far heavier than gossip. Something that could change the future of a family loved by all, feared by many, and watched by everyone. A secret that begins not with shouting or scandal, but with the soft cry of a newborn child. The season begins with a quiet tension that hangs over London like a thin fog. Carriages line the polished streets, invitations are sent to every corner of society. And once again, the families of the Ton prepare for a fresh wave of dances, alliances, marriages, and rumors. Every doorstep has a new letter, every drawing room has a new topic, and every eye glances over its shoulder wondering who will become the newest subject of conversation. But beneath all the lace, pearls, and polite smiles, something is different this year. There is a shift, subtle but undeniable, as the Bridgertons open their gates to welcome the season. Their home hums with a mix of excitement and caution. Candles flicker inside the grand halls, as if they too sense that the days ahead will not be as calm as the ones behind. The young debutantes prepare their gowns, families polish their reputations, mothers sharpen their plans for advantageous matches. Yet even in this familiar dance, the atmosphere feels heavier, touched by an invisible hand guiding the story toward a deeper, darker truth. Lady Whistledown's prince returned with even more force, her words cutting through the Ton like a blade dipped in sweet honey. Every household reads her new pages with both fear and fascination. Who will she target next? Whose name will she lift to glory or sink into ruin? No one knows. And that uncertainty is what gives her power. But the real spark of this season does not come from a dance, a lover's glance, or a whispered rumor. It comes from something far more fragile. A child in innocent life whose arrival stirs the air with 1,000 questions. Whispers grow louder. Secrets tighten. And though the Ton prepares for ballrooms and banquets, they do not realize they are stepping into a season unlike any before it. A season where one truth still hidden could shake every family to its core. The truth enters the Ton not with a trumpet, not with a dramatic entrance, but with the smallest sound a soft, uncertain cry in the quiet hours before dawn. No one sees the child arrive. No carriage pulls up to a grand estate. No servant rushes in with a bundle in their arms. The baby simply appears as if placed gently into the story by fate itself. And in a world where every move is watched and every secret is hunted, an unexpected child is more than a mystery. It is a flame waiting to catch. At first, only a few servants know. A cradle hidden behind a closed door, a name that has not been spoken, a note with no signature, written in trembling ink. But secrets inside the Ton never stay sealed for long. Footsteps echo in empty hallways late at night. Shadows linger too long near locked rooms. And someone powerful, someone afraid, has gone to great lengths to hide the truth about this child. A truth that could bring shame or redemption, or even war between families. By sunrise, the rumors start. A maid swears she heard crying. A coachman claims he saw a cloaked figure leave in the darkness. A curious neighbor reports a lit window at an hour when all should be asleep. And just like that, the whispers weave themselves into stories. Stories become questions. Questions become suspicions. And suspicions? They become weapons. Some say the child belongs to a Bridgerton. Others insist it is the result of a forbidden romance one buried last season, never spoken of again. A few believe the baby is part of a bargain, a debt owed, a secret exchanged long ago. But the most dangerous whisper of all is the one that suggests the truth could ruin a reputation so beloved, so central to the heart of the Ton that society would never recover from the shock. Every scandal has a source. Every secret has a keeper. But this child, fragile, innocent, completely unaware of the chaos surrounding its existence, holds a truth that could rewrite the name of a family forever. And as the sun rises higher and more ears lean closer, it becomes clear this season is no longer about courtship or charm. It is about discovery. It is about survival. And it is about the one truth that the Ton fears most of. All the truth wrapped in a blanket. waiting to be claimed, the scandal begins quietly, like a faint crack in a grand mirror too small to notice at first, but impossible to ignore once the light touches it. Someone, somewhere, speaks a little too loudly behind a closed door. Someone else pauses too long when the child is mentioned. And soon, the whispers surrounding the baby grow sharper, more pointed, more dangerous. It is no longer a question of whether a scandal exists, but who will dare to name it first. The ton behaves as it always does when fear rises. They smile brighter, gossip faster, and pretend harder. Behind fans and champagne glasses, they exchange glances sharp enough to cut silk. Every ballroom feels charged, every hallway feels too narrow, and every conversation hides a second meaning. The nobles of London may dress in jewels and gold, but their secrets are made of iron-heavy cold, desperate to stay hidden. Lady Whistledown's pages only bring more fuel to the fire. Her latest print hints at a truth so delicate it could shatter even the strongest family. She names no one, yet accuses everyone. She reveals nothing, yet exposes everything. And with each new edition, the eyes of the ton turn toward the Bridgertons, drawn to them like moths toward the only light in a dark room. Is it their scandal, or are they simply the brightest target? But the whispers do not stop at the Bridgertons. They twist through drawing rooms, curl around tea tables, and seep into every corner of the season. A viscount who looks too tired. A debutante whose smile fades at the mention of the baby. A gentleman who leaves the room too quickly. Everyone becomes a suspect. Everyone becomes a storyteller. And everyone becomes afraid of what the truth might reveal. Still, the heart of the scandal lives in one question, one that grows louder with every passing day. Who brought the child into this world? And why is the truth being buried so deeply? The ton does not seek clarity. They seek drama. They seek downfall. They seek the thrill of watching a perfect reputation fracture before their eyes. And so, the scandal spreads. Not like fire, but like poison, low, silent, sinking into minds and hearts until doubt becomes certainty. The ton, once bound by elegance and tradition, now moves like a collection of shadows chasing a secret none of them are prepared to face. The truth is no longer just hidden, it is hunted, and the hunt has only just begun. The truth does not sit in the open. It hides in the quiet corners where hearts once whispered promises. It lingers in unfinished letters and glances that last a moment too long, in memories neither side dares to revisit. As the scandal spreads through the ton like a restless storm, the truth curls itself deeper into the shadows, watching, trembling under the weight of what it might destroy once revealed. Behind closed doors, alliances once held together by love and loyalty begin to crack. A mother questions her child with too much fear in her eyes. A brother avoids answering, as if one wrong word could split the world in two. A lover stares at a ring hidden in a drawer, whispering names they can no longer say aloud. Every silence becomes suspicious. Every hesitation becomes a confession, and every heartbeat feels louder than the last. For some, the truth threatens more than reputation. It threatens the future they fought so hard to build. A romance once thought unbreakable now trembles under the possibility of a secret neither lover was ready to face. Did betrayal plant the seed of this child? Or did love leave a mark deeper than anyone imagined? The question hangs between them like a blade suspended by a single thread. And yet the truth is not simply about the baby. It is about the choices that led to this moment, the nights filled with stolen glances, the promises made in the dark, the mistakes no one wanted to repeat. It is about the hearts that dared to beat too loudly in a society that punishes passion. It is about a family already burdened by expectations now facing a truth powerful enough to reshape their legacy in distant halls. A letter lies sealed, its ink dried, but its meaning burning. Only one person knows what it says. Only one person knows who the baby belongs to. But that person stands at a crossroads, reveal the truth and risk breaking a heart. Or bury it forever and let the ton tear itself apart searching for answers. The truth has a rhythm of its own. It knocks softly at first, then louder still, until every soul in the ton feels its echo. Soon, someone will be forced to speak. Someone will be unable to hide. Someone will finally step forward and hold the truth in their hands, whether it destroys them or sets them free. This season, love and truth are no longer partners. They are enemies locked in a battle neither can win without sacrifice. Revelations do not arrive politely in the Ton. They do not knock or wait or whisper their intentions. They strike sudden, sharp, unstoppable. And this one arrives like a storm breaking open the sky, flooding every hidden corner with a light no one asked for. The truth, once only a rumor floating among the chandeliers, now stands at the edge of exposure, and it threatens to turn every familiar face into a stranger. It begins with a single moment. A moment so ordinary it could have passed unseen. A door left slightly open. A gaze caught across a crowded room. A single piece of paper slipped from a pocket and landing silently on the marble floor. But in that small accident lies the spark that pulls the thread from the entire tapestry. And when the thread begins to unravel, nothing can stop it. Someone picks up the letter. Someone reads what was never meant for their eyes. And suddenly, the whispers become a blade sharp enough to cut through the softest lie. The words in that letter do not just hint at the truth. They reveal the heart behind it. A confession written long before the child was found. A confession full of regret, hope, and a name that changes everything when the Ton hears of it. Shock ripples through every ballroom, every tea table, every coach ride. People turn pale behind their fans. Gentlemen stand frozen mid-step. The Ton has always fed on gossip, but this is truth, dressed in the bones of a scandal they never could have imagined. The baby is no longer just a secret. It becomes the key to a story the Ton never saw coming, but the revelation does not fall gently. It crashes into the lives of the people at its center. A lover betrayed. A family blindsided. A friend forced to choose between silence and loyalty. And in the middle of it all stands the one person who tried to bury the truth beneath layers of duty and fear. They now face a choice that no amount of charm or grace can save them from. As the truth spreads, it becomes clear that this season is not about a child being named. It is about a legacy being rewritten. Hearts that once beat together now tremble apart. Paths that once aligned now struggle to remain side by side. And though the revelation opens the door to understanding, it also opens the door to heartbreak. The Ton always believed they knew how the story would unfold. But this revelation proves one thing: in a world built on appearances, the deepest truths always come from the place no one dares to look. Once the truth is out, the Ton does what it always does: tightens its gloves, sharpens its whispers, and pretends it has the moral right to judge. But behind every judgment lies a choice, and behind every choice lies a cost. Now, the people at the center of this storm must choose which path they will follow, and which pieces of themselves they are willing to leave behind. For one, the choice is between love and loyalty. They stand at the edge of a future once promised, now cracked by a secret they never expected. Do they forgive what was hidden? Or do they walk away from a bond they fought the world to protect? Their heart aches with every thought, beating like a drum in an empty hall, searching for a rhythm that no longer exists. Another faces a choice shaped by duty, not desire. Their name carries weight, their silence carries danger. They know speaking the truth could save an innocent, but ruin a noble house. Remaining quiet could protect a reputation, but destroy their own sense of honor. They hold the truth like a fragile object, afraid it will shatter in their hands. Yet terrified of what will happen if they let it fall, there is also the one who caused all this. The one whose actions planted the seed of this chaos. They stand in the shadows, torn between fear and responsibility. Every step toward revealing another layer of the truth feels like walking across thin ice. But every step away feels like a betrayal too deep to forgive. They must decide whether to confess and face the consequences, or let another bear the shame meant for them. Meanwhile, baby innocent, unaware, becomes a symbol the Ton twists into whatever suits their tale. For some, the child is a reminder of forbidden passion. For others, a warning of what happens when secrets go too far. But for the ones who truly matter, the child is something else entirely. A life that deserves more than scandal, rumor, or fear. A life that deserves protection, even if that protection demands sacrifice. The Ton watches closely now. Every glance is a question. Every breath is a possibility. Every choice, no matter how small, feels like it could shape the entire future of one of the Ton's most beloved families. And though the chandeliers still glitter and the music still dances through the air, everything beneath the surface has changed. Love stands on one side, duty on the other, truth in the middle. Someone must make the first move. Someone must choose who they will become. Because destiny is not written by fate in the Ton. Destiny is written by the choices brave enough to be made in the light of day. The season reaches its breaking point on a night that begins like any other music swaying through the ballroom. Chandeliers glowing with warm light, couples spinning across polished floors as if nothing in the world could ever fall apart. But beneath the gowns and gloves, beneath the diamonds and polite laughter, tension coils like a serpent, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when it does, the Ton will never forget what follows. It happens in a single breath, a silence that cuts through the room like an invisible blade. The music falters. A pair of dancers stop mid-step. Conversations freeze in place. All eyes turn toward the grand staircase, where someone stands holding what the Ton feared most, the truth. No longer hidden in shadows, but blazing in their trembling hands. The truth about the baby. The truth about the scandal. The truth about the choices made in the dark. Their voice does not rise. It does not shout. It simply speaks soft, steady, impossible to ignore. And with each word, the room breaks open. Gasps echo off the walls. Fans drop from delicate fingers. Gentlemen stiffen, unsure whether to flee or applaud. The truth has finally been named, and it slices through the Ton with the force of a confession generations in the making. Those at the center of the revelation stand face to face with their fate. One meets the truth with strength, refusing to bow to the weight of society's judgment. Another's eyes fill with a hurt so deep it speaks louder than any accusation. A third steps forward, choosing courage over fear, accepting responsibility for the chaos their silence helped create. And through it all, as a child, the very heart of this storm remains untouched by the fury surrounding them. Being the only innocent in a world drunk on rumor, but the Ton does not crumble. It shifts, moves, reacts. Some turn away in disgust. Others lean forward with newfound admiration. And a few, surprisingly, stand in quiet support. For in the moment, the truth is revealed. The Ton finally remembers something it often forgets. Beneath all its rules and ribbons, beneath the perfection it pretends to uphold, every soul in that room is deeply, painfully human. The night ends not with triumph or ruin, but with a strange, fragile silence, one that hints at transformation. The family at the center of the scandal does not fall. They rise, bruised but unbroken, bound by the truth they fought so hard to hide. And as dawn creeps across the sky, painting London in soft gold, the Ton realizes it has just witnessed the beginning of a new chapter. One that promises even more passion, more rivalry, and more secrets. For in this world, every truth births another mystery. Every confession lights another spark. And every season brings a new scandal waiting to be written. The Ton may think this story is over, but the truth is only just beginning.